Welcome to my podcast. My name is Peejay Antiporda at samahan niyo ako and let's talk about life and how to get through it. This is my podcast, Paano nga ba? And today we are going to talk about paano nga ba tayo tinuruan ng COVID-19 pandemic. This pandemic is far from over kahit na countries around the world are opening up their borders, easing restrictions and allowing businesses back to operation. As we slowly crawl back sa ating normal na mga buhay, hindi maiiwasan na malungkot tayo sa laki ng negative outcomes it brought to our world and to our lives. Madami pa rin ang may sakit. Many have lost their families and loved ones na hindi man lang nabigyan ng nararapat na pagduduksa. Ang sabi nga nila, this virus is worse and a very serious threat than a war kasi nga di natin nakikita yung kalaban natin. And because of this virus, many businesses have closed. Maraming nalugi sa negosyo at mga investments nila. A lot have lost their jobs at yung mga pinagkakakitaan nila and is now in deep financial trouble. The world is now in the brink of great recession or nandito na nga tayo marahil. But despite of all this coronavirus pandemic has highlighted some important life lessons. Kaya sa kabila ng lahat ng negatibong na idulot nito sa atin at sa ating mga buhay, huwag rin nating kalimutan yung mga bagay na iiwan sa ating paalala ng virus na ito. So paano nga ba tayo tinuruan ng COVID-19 pandemic? The first lesson that all of us must learn, and this is according to the study developed by Dr. Tani bin Ahmed Al-Suyudi, UAE's Minister of Climate Change and Environment. He said, the first lesson we must learn is, if one of us falls, we all fall. If one of us falls, we all fall. Noong simula ng virus, ang akala kasi natin dahil malayo naman tayo sa China where the first case was recorded, di tayo maapektuhan nito. We thought it will be a virus, a sickness only going to affect limited geographic location and ethnicity. Problema nila yan. Yan ang akala natin at yan ang sabi natin noong una. But we are all witnesses on how dangerous this kind of mentality and attitude is. Many great nations ang pinaluhod ng virus na ito. Kahit na gaano pa kalaki, kayaman, ka-advance yung mga bansa, ay malaking epekto ang naidulot nito at malaking kawalan ang naranasan ng lahat. Even if it started in China, in terms of the number of cases as of today, China is nowhere in top 15 anymore. It is not there in the rank of countries with most cases of COVID-19. Many times we think other people's troubles are not ours, but this pandemic has taught us to get that out of our mindset and to think again, because the reality is our lives are all intertwined and we are involved in this journey called life. So the next time you hear that someone from some place is facing a problem and think that it does not concern you, remember that when the least of us is threatened, we are all at risk. Kaya dapat we must keep an open heart and an open eye for one another. Huwag tayong magbulag-bulagan at magbingi-bingihan sa pangangailangan at pinagdadaanan ng ibang tao. Gawin natin sa abot ng ating makakaya ang pagpapaabot ng tulong at pagpaparamdam na we are all in this together. So paano nga ba tayo tinuruan ng COVID-19 pandemic? This pandemic has taught us to value life and to appreciate the simple things we always take for granted. Marahil ang buhay ay naging isang malaking routine na lang para sa atin. We wake up in the morning, prepare ourselves for work or di kaya sa eskwela, do our jobs, go back home, have dinner and go to bed and sleep. And then the next day, do the same thing again. Sa pagsasara ng mga opisina, eskwelahan, mga shops, mga negosyo at marami pang iba, at sa pananatili natin sa bahay, whether because we are working from home or nawalan tayo ng trabaho at pagkakakitaan, naputol yung routine ng buhay na sinasabi natin. And it has presented us a chance for us to change the way we look at our lives and ma-appreciate all those things na di natin masyadong pinapahalagahan before. Ang sabi nga, we don't realize how blessed we are until it is taken from us. Dahil sa pandemic na ito, nabigyan tayo ng pagkakataon to pause and see how great it is to just simply be able to open our eyes in the morning and wake up from our own bed and be in the company of our family na healthy at malayo sa anumang nararamdaman. We saw and read in the news that not many are fortunate enough to experience even those simple things. Hirap na nga sila sa kanilang sakit, malayo pa sila sa pamilya nila, and some have not even given a chance para makita yung kanilang mga minamahal sa huling sandali ng kanilang mga buhay. Because of this pandemic, we realize how beautiful life is and be grateful sa bawat sandali at oras na ipinagkaloob sa atin. So paano nga ba tayo tinuruan ng COVID-19 pandemic? Natuto rin tayo maging responsable di lamang para sa ating mga sarili at pamilya, but also for the people around us. Maraming personalidad at mga ordinaryong mamamayan ang hindi nagdalawang isip in reaching out to help other people in need during this uncertain time. Tunay na nakakantig ng puso yung mga istorya at kwento kung paanong isinantabi muna ang pansariling kapakanan at isinakripisyo ang sarili na walang hinihintay na kapalit at hindi tumigil sa pagtulong sa kapwa lalo na sa panahong ito. Sumasaludo tayong higit sa mga frontliners na talagang silang sumagupa at humarap sa panganib na dulot ng virus na ito. Saludo tayo sa kanilang lahat na tupumpad sa kanilang mga tungkuling sinumpaan sa Diyos, sa bayan at sa lahat ng mamamayan. This pandemic has served to show and illustrate to us why nurses, doctors, and all health workers and government personnel are so important. Sila talaga ang tunay na mga bayani. Sabi nga, heroes are sometimes just ordinary people doing their jobs and making sacrifices for the greater good of all. Kaya naman patuloy natin silang pasalamatan at iangat di lamang ang kanilang mga moral, kundi pati ang kanilang mga salaries and benefits pagkatapos nating malampasan ang lahat ng ito. Countries helping other nations by sending medical experts and supplies kahit na meron din silang mga sariling cases na iniintindi internally sa loob ng kanilang bansa. Many countries provided assistance sa ating bansang Pilipinas kahit na noong earlier phase pa lang of this crisis. Nandiyan ang Amerika, Singapore, China, Korea, Japan, Taiwan among others. And syempre kaming mga OFW dito sa UAE ay very grateful and thankful sa bansang ito na siya ring unang nagpaabot ng tulong sa atin to bolster our country's effort to curb the spread of COVID-19. At marami pang ibang countries ang tinulungan at tinutulungan ng bansang ito hanggang sa ngayon. At yung simpleng pagsunod sa mga ordinansang ipinatupad noong lockdown at quarantine ay isang pagpapatunay din ng ating pagiging responsable para protektahan ang ating sarili, ang ating pamilya at ang mga taong nasa paligid natin. So paano nga ba tayo tinuruan ng COVID-19 pandemic? Walang pinipili ang virus na ito. Mahirap ka man o mayaman, may kaya o wala. No matter what your position is, maging hari ka man, presidente or prime minister will not guarantee na hindi dadapo sa iyo ang virus na ito. Kaya naman isa sa mga lessons na itinuro ng pandemic na ito ay ang maging humble tayo. Ang sabi nga, money can't buy everything. Pinatunayan ito ngayong naranasan natin ang pandemic na ito. Gaano man kadami ang pera mo, hindi ito mabibili ang proteksyon para iligtas ang buhay mo at ng pamilya mo. Sino bang mag-aahala at mag-iisip na darating ang araw na yung mga world's biggest cities would fall sa isang nakakatakot na katahimikan? Walang traffic, walang gulo, walang ingay. That shops, restaurants, schools, and workplaces would be closed. Nahihinto sa paglipad yung mga jumbo jets na naghahatid sa atin sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo para magbakasyon or mamasyal. Sino bang mag-aakala that simply shaking hands and a simple high fives would be the source of a life-threatening virus? Isang sobrang kaliit-liit lang na mikrobyo na virus ang magpapawalang saysay sa sobrang pagkalaki-laking mga bansa. If this virus is teaching us anything, it's humility. Tingnan din natin yung mga nasa paligid natin. Mga garang mga damit, mga mamahaling sapatos, super expensive bags at kung ano-ano pang mga binili natin at inipon natin ng katagal-tagal na panahon. Maybe some of us have even sacrificed a lot just to get those. But come to think of it, ano nga bang naging papel ng mga yan noong nasa lockdown at quarantine tayo? At the end of the day, we realize that material things mean nothing. Hindi pala talaga ito ang importante sa ating mga buhay. They are not that matters most in life. So paano nga ba tayo tinuruan ng COVID-19 pandemic? When our company announces that we will be working from home because of the quarantine dito sa UAE, I told my family that I will not be going out of the house for a period of 1 month or more. And sa bahay lang ako magwo-work. And I will be spending the whole day, weekday and weekends at home. Upon hearing that, yung 6-year-old kong anak na si Pierre, with a big smile on his face, he said, "So that means, Daddy, finally we can have a family dinner time." I look at my wife and she looked back at me at pareho naming hindi naintindihan yung ibig sabihin ng anak namin. And we just let it go. So the night came and my wife prepared our dinner table and after naming magpray, Pierre told the same thing again. He said, "Finally, we can have a family dinner time." To which both my wife and I replied, "But we always have a family dinner every night." Pero ito yung sabi ni Pierre, ito yung sabi niya. Pierre told us this, "Daddy, Mommy, I mean a proper family dinner time." And he continued saying, "Because as Daddy said yesterday that he is not going to work for some time, that means we don't need to hurry up. And that means we can have more time to just sit in the table for you guys to listen to my stories and for me and my brother Pau to listen to yours." Upon hearing that, hindi na kami nakasagot. It struck us. It hits me. And it hits me hard. Medyo napaalat ata yung dinner namin that evening as it was mixed with tears. But we will never forget that dinner time. Pero hindi namin makakalimutan yung dinner na yon. And we will always make sure to have a family dinner time. We've all been so busy all this time. We've all been rushing things. We've all been hurrying up. Kahit na yung trabaho natin, mga pinagkakaabalahan natin, ay masasabi natin para naman sa pamilya natin ito. Kaya kayod tayo ng kayod. Nagmamadali tayo para mas marami tayong makalap na salapi. These are good things. Wala namang masama sa paghahangad ng ikabubuti ng pamilya natin. But remember this. We might have been doing a lot of good things, but may not necessarily be the best thing. And this pandemic has allowed us to have more time to value and appreciate our family and mag-spend ng quality time with them, lalo na sa mga bata. This pandemic has taught us that we should give our family not just the good things, but the best things. That means the best of us, and that simply means just being there to talk to and to listen. Sa pagbabalik natin sa trabaho, pag-aaral at sa anumang pinagkakaabalahan natin, sana nagamit natin ng maayos ang time natin with our families. Let us treasure those times as those times will never come back and will never happen again. So paano nga ba tayo tinuruan ng COVID-19 pandemic? Pinaalala sa atin ng pandemic na ito that life is short and that we are all fragile and susceptible to getting sick and even dying suddenly. Pinaalala sa atin ng pandemic na ito that we are not in control of our lives. Hindi rin tayo ang may-ari ng buhay natin at ito ay pahiram lang sa atin. And since it was just lent to us, at dahil pahiram nga lang, pwede sa atin itong bawiin anytime. Nasaan ka man, anuman ang iyong ginagawa, may sakit ka man o wala, sa ayaw mo man o hindi. Pero lagi nating tandaan that God does not abandon us. God goes with us even now in this time of trial and testing. At sa kabila ng mga nararanasan nating sufferings and difficulties, we must always run to Him. Sa panahong ito, it is important to anchor our hearts and our hope to God. Binigay sa atin ni Lord ang panahong ito para hanapin natin siya at tumawag at magtiwala lamang sa Kanya. So paano nga ba tayo tinuruan ng COVID-19 pandemic? This pandemic has taught us to care and to take care of one another, to value and appreciate life's simple things, to be responsible citizens and human beings of this world, to live a life of humility, to spend more quality time with our families and loved ones, and that there is a God who is in control of everything. How about you guys? Ano nga bang lessons ang itinuro ng COVID-19 pandemic na ito sa inyo? Salamat for joining my podcast. I hope you learned something and I hope you enjoy listening to it. Let me know your thoughts and I hope to see you again on our next episode. So this is Paano nga ba with Peejay Antiporda signing off and saying, God bless us all.